on Monday.
A lot of folks heeding those warnings now. Let's head over to Jaccii Farris. She has been reporting for us all night from the forks of the Delaware, where the Lehigh River meets with the Delaware River in Easton. Now, Jaccii, when we just talked with Pam in Berks County, the weather had really picked up there. They were seeing a little bit of the wind, and the rain, she said, was now coming down on an angle. Or are you seeing an increase where you are in Easton?
Yeah, the rain has really picked up, and as has the wind. I don't know if you can see it because we keep losing lights. There's just so much water that our lights just keep blowing out. But take a look over here. I don't know if you can see it. The wind is just really going. We've got this tree here that's just swaying back and forth. We've got an American flag in the distance that's going crazy. Even the street signs are starting to wobble. We are really starting to feel the effects of Irene with intense rain and intense wind. It's blowing. And most people that have been walking up and down have been struggling with their umbrellas. You know, I saw someone, their umbrella went folded out, I guess is what I'm trying to tell you. So, you know, it feels like we're really starting to see the force of the storm, you know, as we get into it hour by hour. And it just kind of gives you an indication of what's coming this way. I know that Easton has been preparing for days. Go ahead. We have to wipe off our lens because it's just incredibly wet and rainy out here. But Easton has been preparing. They've been clearing storm drains. They have been putting up barricades. You know, Mayor Salpanto has been watching this hour by hour and meeting with emergency officials throughout the city, making sure that everything is in place. Now, what if? That's a big question. What happens if the power goes out? Well, Mayor Panto says that he is going to make sure that crews put up lights in the downtown area so that there are no problems with traffic or with looting in some of the businesses in that area. And also, what if, you know, something is blocked off? If there's a barricade, that is an easy question to answer. Do not go around any of the barricades. This area is known for sinkholes, and you never know what's under that water. So turn around, go home, and be dry and safe. Things are really picking up out here, guys.
For that video, we actually could see the flag and some of the trees there blowing. So good for people to have that image as well tonight. So thanks for that, Jaccii.
She's got to get warm. She's got to do something. I mean, she looks like she's.
I know. She's been out there as well as all of our reporters for hours. Now it's tough to be out in the middle of this.
It is. It is. It's, you know, you do one live shot, but when you're talking about, you know, being called on every 30 minutes, we all know what that's like, and it is trying. Jaccii raises an excellent point there as far as going out and about. There's so many reasons, Jim, you mentioned earlier, and they just continue. The numbers just continue to go up of why you shouldn't go out. The tornado warnings clearly just at least for until 11 o'clock, and I suspect it will likely be extended. We've got tornado warnings in Bucks, Montgomery, Philadelphia, Burlington. And it's remarkable. There's a tremendous amount of instability in our atmosphere. The hurricane, you know, you think it's enough just to have driving rains from flooding rainfall and strong straight line winds, but now we've got tornado warnings to deal with as well. So lots of instability. And here's the interesting thing is that, you know, we are just really kind of getting into the heavier rain now. We've seen that now in many parts of our area for at least an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. It's going to continue like this.
And the winds too. Correct?
And the winds. Sure. And those winds will pick up. We're not talking about the tornadic activity or the potential of tornadic activity. By the way, there's nothing confirmed yet except for that one in Lewis, Delaware. There was a confirmed tornado. But you're exactly right. Those winds will really, because the center of that circulation, that's got to get off the coast of New Jersey, and that won't occur till as we get into the very wee hours and into the morning hours. So I think from like 3, 4 in the morning up until maybe noon, we'll really talk about some pretty significant winds in our area. And we're not talking 90 or 100 mile an hour winds.
Sure.
That's reserved to the coast. But for us here, we're, you know, 30 to 50 mile an hour winds. That may not sound like a big deal, but now in western New Jersey, you know, 50, 60, 70 mile an hour winds in completely saturated ground that's been that way for a month. And now this additional rain, trees easily, the roots, you know, in that really well lubricated. It's a recipe for big problems. So it's something we've got to watch, and of course the flooding a big concern as well. So let's get to it and show you the very latest. We've got an updated track as well, but obviously you can see these counties shaded in red tornado warnings. And again, please seek shelter if you're in those areas. You can turn your TV up loud enough, go down into an interior basement, the basement, or if you don't have a basement, an interior room. But first and foremost, you know, we want you to be safe. versus, watching us. So you can turn the TV up, get downstairs, just so you can hear that down through and into your basement, so you can at least have a source of information. And we'll continue to provide it for you and let you know when these are canceled. But we want you to make sure that you're safe. Of course, it's a given that everywhere else we've got flood warnings. As far as the information we've got right now, it continues to be, that is Irene, a Category 1 hurricane, which is remarkable. Oftentimes, once you get up into this neck of the woods, it starts to get further north, it starts to weaken and decay, but it's out over open water just off the coast. It puts about 75 miles southwest of Ocean City, Maryland. But again, this is the very latest as of 11 o'clock. Track information, again, not much changing. Looks like it's going to just head right on up towards New York City and then very likely weaken. But I think it's going to be off the coast of New Jersey. If you can see here, 2 a.m., just probably off the tip of New Jersey, but getting into maybe, let's just say up towards northeastern Pennsylvania Sunday morning. So actually, look at that. That's very interesting that we're seeing that. It is moving a little bit quicker, and that's probably because we've seen that increase in speed to 16, 17 miles an hour, that it's moving along a little bit quicker. So between now and Sunday morning, it's going to be advancing off. So I think that's safe to say now, looking at that information, which just updated, I think it's safe to say that between now and probably sometime 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, noon, that's where we're going to be talking about the strongest winds. So those winds should definitely be picking up now over the next several hours. And I think that the heaviest bands of rain will continue during that same time frame. Not that the winds are going to go away tomorrow at noon, and I think the rain will taper off as well, but the winds will continue to blow as that storm picks up. We're going to definitely be talking about a pretty significant pressure gradient, so those winds will continue to blow during the day tomorrow. Take another look at the circulation. Let me go back to that and you'll be able to see. You can see that center of that circulation just winding up, but it is over open water. These bands of rain just continue to be thrown back and into our air. Look at that gradient. Can you believe that? Look at that. You get back to a certain point, but there's no question, like Berks County, which, is definitely on the western flank, but we are seeing some heavier bands actually work back there as well. Everywhere else, we can clearly see different shades of green as we zoom in. Take a look last 6 hours, and this is how it really started to unfold. Take a look at these yellows and greens. Can you see it? Does that sort of pinwheel effect? Sort of swinging up, down, through, and down along this area, again, with that circulation. So the very northern flank is just here now, just getting close to the Pennsylvania-New York border. Schuylkill, Carbon really coming down hard right now. A little bit more moderate activity in the Berks, Lehigh, Northampton County area. But this is where we saw that rotation in the atmosphere, and that's where we saw the tornado warnings, again, for Chester, Montgomery, Bucks, Delaware, Philadelphia. That looks like that should expire at 11 o'clock. We'll let you know if that is indeed the case. So between now and tomorrow, probably 10, noon, somewhere in that ballpark, we're going to continue to talk about these bands of rain rotating down and through our area. So 8+ inches of rain a given in coastal areas, 50 to 70 mile an hour winds. Again, that's where we're thinking definitely talking about trees down along the coast, 70 to 90 mile an hour winds, 4 to 6 inch amounts for the Lehigh Valley area on up into Carbon and parts of Monroe, 4 to 6 inches for the Bucksmont area as well. We certainly could see this is really key, locally higher amounts. And I even think now western parts of Berks County, this line, I think we may just end up extending it because we're seeing some of those heavier bands. 66 degrees, windy, humid, rain, heavy at times, very heavy at times, flooding a given, heavy rain and strong winds. Again, looks like we should see the conditions will improve later in the day. Tomorrow, the winds will continue to blow, and boy, we've got a spectacular forecast in store. Next opportunity for a shower or thunderstorm may not be till Thursday once we get past tomorrow. So we've got plenty of time to dry out. Again, the next concern, even though we got drier weather, is later Sunday night and into Monday, rivers will be cresting. In the Delaware River, flood stage at Easton is 22 feet. Now the revised forecasted crest now 32 feet, which should occur Monday, likely early afternoon. So that's 10 feet above flood stage. So we're obviously concerned about that. Those numbers could change, and that's why we're going to be here giving you updates during the overnight hours and through the day tomorrow. And of course, until right through and into Monday, as conditions warrant, until we start to see those levels go down. So we're here for you. Stay with us. Guys, back over to you.
And plenty to keep our eye on.
Head out tomorrow morning. Now, at Let's Check, WFMZ's Will Lewis was driving along, and he has now gotten to his destination, and he's somewhere now in Bethlehem Township. Will, where are you?
Well, Karen, I'm right over at Nancy Run, right where the river runs right next to Carter Road. And, you know, I kind of wish I was back behind the wheel. The rain has started coming down a little heavier. And, you know, you heard Pam and you heard Jaccii talk about the swirling winds and the rain. And that's exactly what we have going on here. You know, I ran into the Nancy Run Fire Department, and they told me they already have 15 guys on standby because this area where I'm standing at is known to flood. In fact, they were telling me when Hurricane Ivan had hit up here that there were 2 to 3 feet of water up here, and they had to make a couple ladder rescues. So this is an area that they are watching, and they've already said they are pretty sure that this area is going to flood again. So they want to tell people to just avoid this area. They've already got barricades up, and they say as soon as that barricade goes up to close the road, people should go ahead and obey that and just not come down here. They say right now, with the rains the way they are, they expect this to go ahead and flood overnight. And this is definitely an area that they will keep a watch on. So, you know, it's an area that we'll keep a watch on. And, of course, we'll get back behind the wheel and kind of get out of here so we don't get stuck during all the water on the roadway and everything else. Reporting live in Bethlehem Township, Will Lewis. 69 News.
Will, we actually had a young lady on Facebook wondering how your trip to Nancy's Run went. How was the travel on your way there?
Well, you know, Jim, actually it was pretty good. You know, right after we got done with you guys and we made the turn onto Stefco Boulevard, the rain did pick up a little bit. But like you saw before, there wasn't a lot of people on the road. But once we got coming down right here to Nancy Run, the rain picked up. And as you can see, it's swirling very good. And now people are, you know, trying to stay at home, or as you can see, it's blowing our lights around. But the people that are out on the road really need to be careful and be safe because there is a lot of ponding here. You can tell the difference just as the cars drive by.
Well, we can see the wind affecting even the shot of you. You're shrinking as we watch you there. How has the wind compared to what it was an hour or so ago for you?
You know, an hour or so ago, everything was fine. There was no rain or no wind. We just had to deal with the rain coming down. Now, you know, you're kind of leaning into the wind. It's a little biting. You know, the rain is not coming straight down. It's whipping right into your face. And it's starting to get a little difficult. You know, you hear Ed talk about the bands of the weather and the rain that you see during the report. And I'm definitely feeling those bands starting to come into the area.
All right, Will, we thank you for being out there for us and getting to your next location. Do you know where you're going next?
No, I don't know yet, but I heard somebody talk to me and said right around Saucon Valley might start to see a little bit, or starting to see a little bit of trouble. So we may try to make our way down there.
All right, sounds good.
Because I have a tornado warning for Mercer County, New Jersey, till 11:30, and it looks like just in the last minute, Bucks and Montgomery may have reissued another tornado warning. I'll get more information for you on that here momentarily, but it does look that way. Other than that, this is very, very important for folks along the Delaware River. There's a website that's typically very reliable, the Advanced Hydrological Predictions Services. That's where you get the latest river stage data. We had given you new numbers for the Delaware River, and the numbers that we've been giving you, the updated, upgraded numbers, are accurate. But what happened with, I just got off the phone with the National Weather Service, the good folks there, they've had reports, and I was reporting, that the numbers were adjusted on their website, but they went back to the old numbers. So the numbers that I'm going to give you now, these are the accurate numbers as far as forecasted crests are concerned. Very, very important. Don't rely right now until these numbers are revised on their website, and they're working on it. I just want you to know that. But again, you can rely, stay here. We'll keep you posted all night long. That's why we're here, as far as giving you the very latest. Center of that circulation, again, you can see now about 50 miles south of Ocean City over open water as far as the center of that circulation. Just a tremendous fetch of moisture off the Atlantic back. Look at these bands of yellow and green in and around our area. We'll be giving you updates, but look at this. I mean, it's just really, truly remarkable as we continue to keep you posted and watch this all very carefully. The winds will pick up as the center of that circulation moves up and off the coast during the wee hours and the early part of Sunday morning. Those winds will be picking up. Very latest information. Again, all these numbers have been updated along the Lehigh River, and I've been getting a lot of folks asking on Facebook for different sites, and I've been trying to keep up, but it's too many requests. So I've been saying, just saying, please tune in frequently as we're going to continue to revisit these numbers, and we update them constantly, and we'll be doing that during the overnight. In fact, we'll be doing this during the overnight, during the day Sunday, and into the overnight Sunday night and into Monday until everything starts receding. So you can count on that. Lehighton, Walnut, Port Bethlehem. This is the Lehigh River. You get expected forecasted crest look to be just some minor flooding expected in Walnut Port. Other than that, in Bethlehem as well, 18.5. That is revised. All the current levels very, very low. Delaware River, though, these are the accurate numbers. Again, not on the Advanced Hydrological Prediction Services. Again, those numbers should be corrected soon, I've been told, but just to be aware of that. Again, Belvedere, Easton, Riegelsville, Trenton, flood stage 22 feet, 20 in Trenton. Look at these forecasted crests. Minor flooding expected Belvedere. All the numbers, current levels, very low. But Easton, flood stage 22, it's been revised forecasted crest Monday afternoon, 32 feet. If we'd get there, that would be the 6th worst flood in Easton along the Delaware River if we get to this forecasted crest. And this can be revised up or down as we continue to see what happens with this rainfall. Be aware of that. Riegelsville, 22 feet flood stage, major flooding there. Easton, major flooding expected. Major flooding in Riegelsville as well expected. That would likely be later Monday into Monday evening. Trenton, 24, so some moderate flooding there as well. Over to the Schuylkill River. Bern, Reading, Pottstown, Philly, you get some sense here. And again, looks like minor to moderate flooding in those locations. We'll give you another update here shortly. A lot going on. Again, tornado warning in Mercer County, and I'll give you an update on whether or not Bucks and Montgomery is covered in just shortly. Stay tuned. Guys, back to you.
All right, Ed, thank you so much. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Many of us. Let's check in now on the roads. We checked in with him earlier, so this is an update for us. We're joined on the phone with Ron Young with PennDOT's District 5. And Ron, what are we seeing on the roadways out there? Thanks again for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. So far in our district region, which is a 6-county region, including Lehigh Valley, it's not too bad. There's starting to see some incidences of downed tree branches. Rains are getting heavier, so people need to be alert for any winds are picking up, just need to be alert for trees, tree branches, wires, flooding. Just to the south of us in the Philadelphia region, our neighboring Engineering District 6 has restricted speed limits to 45 mile per hour on most of the major roadways in the Philadelphia region, as well as the Pennsylvania Turnpike. And they've also restricted certain types of vehicles down there, so people need to stay up to speed, check in on your website and check in on the PennDOT website to see what's going on.
We keep hearing reports, Ron, that it is getting harder and harder to see on the roadways. In fact, we were on the scene of an accident about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago in Bethlehem because of decreased visibility. How bad is the visibility at this point out there?
Well, it could be bad at some points. When you get a strong gust of wind with heavy rain, it could blind you if you're driving your vehicle. So we do stress that people not go out during this storm. But if they do have to, they can check on road conditions at 511pa.com or calling 511. There they can get all the latest delays, warnings, weather forecasts, and also access to 500 traffic cameras statewide. We are strongly stressing to motorists to never drive through floodwaters or drive around any road barricades. The best thing to do is turn around and don't drown.
And Ron, overnight, what is the plan for overnight now? I imagine you've got the crews sectioned out for the rest of the evening into tomorrow.
Correct. We have our Incident Command Center up and running in downtown Allentown for our 6-county region. We're in communication with neighboring engineering districts and also with the State Emergency Operations Center in Harrisburg. We have crews on hand to go out and clear up, start any debris on the roads, any trees or branches that come down. We're in communications with utilities as necessary if there's any utility lines down. It's going to be a while before we get through this whole storm, and we just want to stress the fact that for everyone's safety, the best thing to do is just stay home.
Ron, obviously that is the prevailing kind of overriding advice to stay home. For those who do decide they have to go out for whatever reason, what would your recommendation be in that instance into how to navigate through this?
Well, I would not go out in any type of storm like this without an emergency kit in my vehicle. If they don't already have one, they should put one together before they leave, including flashlights, radios, batteries, clothing for the weather, any medicines, any water, candy bars, snacks, things of that nature that you might need if you're going to be out there and you might possibly get stuck along a roadway due to weather conditions or other reasons. So it's just that would be my recommendation, and take it slow and heed any messages that we would have on our highway advisory radio systems or on our message boards. They're there for a reason, for your own safety. Please heed the messages if you're out there.
Ron, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us this evening for a second time here, and we'll talk to your crews in the morning. Thanks,
You're
Ron.
welcome. Take care.
And Ed, you're back. You've got some information on that tornado warning. That
it looks as though, I think at this point in time, Bucks and Montgomery, we do still have that. I think it'll probably likely expire in the next 15 minutes. Just be aware, and we will let you know when we sound the all clear on that. Let's get some things to show you. And I want to invite you, by the way, tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock. I know you guys have mentioned this before, but it's sort of well, I wouldn't say it's an unusual event, but Rob Vaughn, my good friend, and Wendy Davis will be in at 5 o'clock in the morning, tomorrow morning, and I will be joining them. So I hope you do join us as we continue this coverage, massive coverage, as we've been doing really virtually nonstop coverage on the AccuWeather channel, teamed here on Channel 69 as well. Amanda will be with you during the overnight hours as well. We're just nonstop updating the river stage data because it's information you need to know. So obviously I invite you to stay with us as we continue to watch and keep you posted. Tornado warning again for Bucks and Montgomery County. That's in effect for about another 15 minutes or so. Latest information, 70 miles southwest of Ocean City, Maryland. So obviously the storm is still to our southeast, has a ways to go, but the winds are starting to pick up as that storm and that pressure gradient really kind of changes. Plus, not only that, but also we're seeing the winds really significantly pick up from the center of that storm itself. You've got tropical storm force winds extending out from that between 200 and 300 miles. Hurricane force winds 70 to 90 miles, and it's just going to skirt right up the coast of New Jersey. Latest model information, moving a tiny bit quicker. You can get some sense. In fact, I want to go back here real quickly. I just wanted to verify that number, 16 miles an hour, so it's still moving faster than it was earlier in the day. It was 14 miles an hour. Now it's going 16 miles an hour. And for that reason, you can see it likely will be just probably in central New Jersey, approaching northern New Jersey by 8 a.m. Sunday. That's important. And as it continues to move up and away from the area, we'll really see those winds picking up during the overnight hours and into the first part of the day. It doesn't mean the winds aren't going to go away. I think the winds will be with us throughout the rest of the afternoon and evening, but the strongest winds will likely be with us as we go through the early morning hours and into the first part of the day. The rainfall will likely be with us as going through the overnight, and it's bands. So at times it may lighten up a bit, then you get another heavy band, and then it gets a bit lighter. And I think we're going to continue to see that throughout the overnight hours into the first part of the day on Sunday. But we've been saying by noon, the heaviest rain likely going to be moving away from the area. But again, that's why it's so imperative that you stay with us as we keep you posted. Take a look one more time. You can see on the Doppler radar, there's the center of that circulation right about where my hand happens to be right there. It's throwing all this moisture back. And so it's got a ways to go. If you imagine that it's just going to continue up this path, going to continue to see this moisture thrown back in our area. Another look here. Check it out. All these yellows and greens. But you can clearly see defined bands. Do you see that? Yellow and then green here and then another yellow band, and that's what's going to continue to rotate and circulate around our area. From there, obviously from between now and as we get into the maybe Sunday noon, that's when we anticipate the worst part of the storm. So we're in the thick of things now, no doubt about that. Flooding, rains, and in the eastern half of our viewing area, you all know this has been this storm will likely put the Lehigh Valley area the wettest month on record. Very, very likely. We were the 5th before this storm arrived. Philadelphia, already August was the wettest month on record. We've had so much rain, 8 to 10 inches over the last couple of weeks, and we're going to round off this week, or this month rather, with this storm, which obviously is clearly going to be a record-breaking month for a lot of folks. So watching river levels all that new data. Unfortunately, the Delaware River flood crest, forecasted crest, looks to be out 32 feet on Monday, likely in the early afternoon hours. The flood stage is 22 feet, so obviously that's of some concern because it now looks like major flooding will occur. If we get to 32 feet, that would be the 6th highest flood in history since records have been kept. So we're going to have to keep you posted on that, and again, we'll be doing that every single, right on through the overnight and into your day tomorrow and into Monday as conditions warrant. So guys, we'll throw it back to you for now, and we will see you at 5 o'clock. Stay with us because, again, Amanda will continue with the updates during the overnight. All right, Ed, it's all around the viewing area.
And we're going to go now to WFMZ's Jaccii Farris, who unfortunately has been out in the storm for us all evening. And we understand you're out there now with Mayor Sal Panto of Easton, whom we talked to on the phone earlier, but it's good to see him live and in person.
That's right. We are out here, and it is pounding. And Mayor Sal Panto, you said you were going to come by the truck, and you're a man of your word.
I said I would.
Now, you've been out and about. Talk to me a little bit about what you've seen.
Well, we just see the rain just starting. This intensity is really starting to pick up. It's going to get worse. A lot of limbs down, not many trees yet, but a lot of limbs. Route 611, both north and south, a lot of limbs are down, so people should be careful if they are out in this weather. They're crazy if they are, but they should be careful. But other than that, we had some power outages in Forks Township. That came on in about 5 or 7 minutes, so we're lucky. That was a tree that was down on the wire. So this is going to get worse. This is just the beginning. And it's a driving rain. It's a hard rain. And we're worried about water and wind. With wind comes trees down. With trees down comes power outages. And that's a big concern for us right now.
Now, talk to us a little bit about what's going to be happening overnight. I know you've had crews out putting out barricades and everything. Talk to me about the work that's being done in the rain tonight.
Well, biggest thing tonight is keeping the catch basins open, all the stormwater inlets, to make sure that the water that is falling gets into the tributaries and away from the city streets and buildings. That's what they're doing tonight between 10 and 6 in the morning. Starting at 6, between 6 and 7, we have the entire crews coming out. We're fortunate in our city, unlike maybe some of the townships, we have a fully paid professional police and fire department. We have people that are on the ready alert right now. You know, the guys at the firehouse, the guys in the police station, they're out and about. If the winds get too high, we want them all inside and only respond to emergencies. But the good news is that we have people ready to roll if they have to.
Now, one of the things I've been talking about all night is you got those barricades up, and you do have the professional staff, but if people go around the barricades, it just puts the professional staff in harm's way. So what would you say to the folks who maybe are thinking, I want to go check out the Delaware, or I want to go see what's going on?
Common sense. It's common sense. You know, I heard where we lost our surfer. I mean, really, that's just foolish to try to be in this. Mother Nature always wins. She never loses. So I would suggest that everybody stays in their home. A lot of businesses are already closed tomorrow. Easton Area School District even is closed Monday. You know, the Canal Museum, the Crayola, Signal Museum, they're all closed here. And it's not because of water, it's because of people driving on streets that are, you know, hydroplaning. That's a real big serious issue because the water's coming down so fast now that even the stormwater system doesn't hold it.
So Monday and Tuesday, I guess, is going to be the big test in terms of, you're talking about the problem with water.
Yeah, the problem that we're going to have tomorrow is the Bushkill. The Bushkill Creek and the low-lying areas of the Lehigh River. We know we're going to have problems there. They're already barricaded and ready to be blocked off if needed. Monday, they're projecting a 26.5-foot flood level for the Delaware. That's okay for us. We get nervous around 29, 30 feet. But that's not crested yet, so they don't know. It depends on how much water goes up in New York State.
So we're just going to have to see what happens. You mentioned Forks Township earlier and everything, and you've been just talking about what's going on here in Easton, Northampton County area. Talk to me a little bit about the experience you had while doing another interview tonight. Well,
yeah, I was with a national. It's unfortunate that you guys are so good because you come down when we have good things as well as bad things. The nationals only call you up when there's something bad going on. And I had an interview with a national telecast, and the power went out right where I was. So I was on a landline, so I got cut off. I had to call them back on my cell phone. So they're the kind of things that can happen to people. Have plenty of things to do. Make sure your computer laptop is charged. We know I have grandchildren, so we should make sure they're charged so at least they can throw a DVD in and watch a movie. Because if the power goes out, kids won't have anything to do.
So everybody stay busy and stay home. That's the lesson.
Yes.
Thank you.
And if you didn't get to the stores now, you may as well forget about it.
That's right. Go knock on your neighbor's door. Thank you, Mayor Sal Panto.
Thank
Again, the rain is pounding. It's really windy. Stay home and stay safe. That's the latest here from Easton.
All right, Jaccii and Mayor Panto, thanks so much for joining us. And let's go now to WFMZ's Will Lewis. He was last on his way to Saucon Valley from Bethlehem Township. Will, where are you now?
Oh, we're right off Route 309, right on the Saucon Valley Parkway, and it is getting really bad here. It's starting to come down. The winds are swirling. I don't know if you can see behind me, but there's just sheets of water going down 309 right now. We've passed a few cars going in traffic, and they were really slow. It was almost to a point at one time where, you know, it gets so bad you just pull over to the side of the road and then wait until it dies down a little bit, and that's what it's been doing right now. The wind gusts are starting to really pick up. It goes strong for a little bit, then it dies down. So, you know, if you don't have to be out here, please just stay at home, be safe. You know, we stopped here. We were on our way to look at a couple other places, but we just figured that, you know, the rain's starting to come down pretty heavy, and we wanted to make sure we got you a last report to make sure we tell people just to stay inside and ride the rest of this out at home for tonight.
Will, just how bad has the visibility been? Of course, you've had the unfortunate role of being our roving reporter and having to drive through this. How bad is it at this point?
Yeah, the roving part is starting to get a little bad, Jim. I mean, the visibility's still pretty good. Like I said, when the rain dies down, it's fine. But we were over just on Easton Avenue in Bethlehem Township, and I know we've talked about some power outages there, but the wind is really kicking over there. There was some construction fencing that went over Easton Avenue, so the police were over there trying to get all that fencing off the road to make sure people were safe. And, you know, like I said, now the wind is just swirling. Right now, the rain is beating into my back, so that's fine. But, you know, you turn around, it goes into your face, it goes into your windshield, and it makes everything very tough for you to see.
Well, I have to say, you've been out there for hours, and you still, every time we come to you, have a smile on your face. Yes. So we appreciate that. You're a good sport, Will.
Thanks, Will.
Well,
it's all part of the fun.
It sure is. All right, thanks. We'll try to get some rest.
It's all about attitude, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. And tonight, Jim, Ed, and I are going to be taking a bit of a break, but WFMZ's Amanda Cox is up next after the break. She will be bringing you the latest weather information with live reports every 15 minutes throughout the overnight hours. So quite a task.
Yeah, sorry, Karen. At 5 a.m., Rob Vaughn, Wendy Davis, and Ed Hanna will be here, which means Ed will get about an hour of sleep and be back. They'll be here with continuing coverage from throughout the 69 viewing area. That starts at 5 a.m. again. We are going to ride this thing out, so keep it right here. Thanks so much for watching tonight, and stay dry.